Good evening, everyone. We are wrapping up another pretty nice looking day. Temps today made it into the low 20s. Felt pretty good though, right? We had some sun, light winds. That's about to change. Tomorrow looks pretty bearable. One more bearable day before things really start to change. Thanks for joining us tonight on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're joining us tonight. Thank you very much. The big story, obviously, if you haven't heard by now, it's going to get cold and windy. No real major updates from yesterday. We're starting to get a better idea of the timing. Actually, there is one significant update. I think it's going to get even colder quicker this Friday. So, yesterday I was thinking, we might be around 8 around midday. I think many areas will be around 0 by midday Friday. So it gets colder quicker. And I think actually Friday afternoon is going to be more extreme than Saturday afternoon. So there you go. That's what we're thinking here. Those of you joining us on Facebook Live, I see a bunch of you just popping in here. Thank you, first off. Second off, let's take a look at the weather maps. I had the opportunity to use one of my favorite graphics, this fun little old man winter graphic. That is an Arctic front swinging through. That's 1 o'clock in the afternoon Friday. That front moves through tomorrow night. Let's join me back here tomorrow night. We'll be tracking it. I think there will be probably some snow squalls starting to show up on the map about 24 hours from now. All right, so let's talk about, this shouldn't really say highs because the high on Friday is going to be at midnight tomorrow night. So I put 0 to 10 because that's going to be the daytime temperature. In fact, the temperature will probably start at 10 and end at 0. And that's Friday. Saturday's highs will be 0 to 10. Now your lows tomorrow night, I should say Friday night to Saturday is going to be about 10 to 20 below. Those are your air temperatures. And as far as the wind chills go, most of us get wind chills 25 to 40 degrees below 0 in that time range, late Friday through Saturday midday. I think the mountains will get wind chills colder than 50 degrees below 0. So this is dangerous. The last time we had wind chills of 40 degrees below 0 in Portland was January 1971. That record's in jeopardy. I don't think we're going to reach that, though. In Portland, if I had to pick a number, I'm going Larry Bird, 33. I think we'll get about 33 degrees below 0 on Saturday morning or late Friday night for a wind chill value. Air temperature, I don't know. It's probably about 14, somewhere in there for an overnight low. 14 below, I'm sorry. 14 does sound cold, though, doesn't it? 14 below. 10 to 15 below. How does that sound? Wow. All right, tomorrow, no problems. It looks like we'll be about 5 by our midday temperature on Friday. These temps represent the air temps, my guess, around midday or early afternoon. Midday Friday, 5, probably early afternoon Saturday, or mid to late afternoon Saturday, probably mid to upper single numbers. And more of the same for inland towns, around 0, probably Friday afternoon. Now, tomorrow night, we'll stay in the 20s till midnight. And we're going to go from 20s around midnight to probably below 0 by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's going to get very cold very quickly for Friday morning. I think Friday, my guess, is going to be more dynamic than Saturday. I'm on record for saying that. I think Friday afternoon is going to be more extreme than Saturday afternoon. Saturday morning still looks extreme. Saturday afternoon, the wind lightens up. And by Sunday, though, I think we'll have some melting. Might be a snow shower. 30s for highs. How about that? So 2 days. We'll get through this. Notice a partly cloudy sky tonight. We have wind chill watches up. This will be converted to a wind chill warning. We're probably talking about wind chills 25 to 40 degrees below 0 for most of the area. Let's draw that in. So, oh, come on. I didn't mean to do that. Right in here. This area right here gets probably 30 to 40 degrees below 0 for wind chills. This area right here gets 45 to 55 degree below 0 wind chills. So serious cold. Let's take a look at satellite radar. Things are quiet right now, and our front tonight is right in there. That's the front that's going to cause all the trouble. That's the Arctic boundary. So let's track it out. There it is right there. It will be making some headway into our area late tomorrow night. And the exciting part about the front, it's going to have a pretty interesting snow squall with it. Best chance for a snow squall will be in the mountains. I think it will weaken by the time it gets to the coastline, though. And, if you live in the hills and mountains, it's one of those where you could get 10, 15 minutes of just whiteout conditions. Wind picks up, and then the temperature's going to plummet. 7 a.m. Friday, winds are picking up, and the winds are going to be strong, gusting around 30 miles per hour pretty much for most of the event. Probably we'll get frequent gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusts 235, I think, for Friday night, and into early Saturday. For a while yesterday, even the day before, I was, wonder if we can get the winds to lighten up a little bit Friday night. And if that happens, then air temperatures will get colder. But I don't think that's going to happen. When the wind stays up, you get the colder wind chills. When the wind drops off, you get the colder air temperatures. And I don't think the winds are going to lighten up until probably midday Saturday. Saturday morning, they'll be gusty still, but I think Friday afternoon is going to be more extreme than Saturday afternoon. Let's take a look at how this goes down. This is an important graphic because we can walk through this together as far as temperatures and the timing of this. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, low 30s. Looks good, right? A little breezy out of the southwest. Here's the front. That's the Arctic boundary, making some headway into the international border up into northern Coos County. And again, I said about 24 hours from now, we'll have something to track here. So I'm recording this at, this is live. And if you're watching a recording, this is about 8 o'clock tonight, of course, Wednesday. We're talking Thursday night, 11:30. We'll be tracking that front moving in. Notice how it does weaken, but this is the boundary. Take note of the temperatures. We're in the 20s, and we'll probably stay in the 20s until at least 1 o'clock in the morning. That's actually 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, pay attention to the temperatures for a moment. Look at what happens as we go into probably the mid-morning hours on Friday. This might be a little too extreme, but I think we're probably at least in the low single numbers by midday at the coastline. We're probably a little bit below zero or around zero for a lot of inland towns. Air temperature. Let's remember, it's going to be windy during this time range as well. Winds are going to be cranking. They'll be out of the northwest. It's going to be something to see. And then air temperatures dip to about 10 to 20 below by early Saturday. There should be some fun Arctic sea smoke to take a look at out in the ocean. Of course, that's getting ready for sunrise still at that point. And then the temperatures rise to probably the single numbers during the afternoon. And it looks like that graphic just messed up. But it looks like we will see some single numbers by Saturday afternoon. Talking about wind chills for a moment here. All right, the wind chills really start to crank Friday afternoon. And I think we're going to have our most extreme values Friday evening into Saturday morning. And we're probably talking about wind chills, coastline, 25 to 35 degrees below zero. You had inland 15, 20 miles or so. We're probably talking about 30 to 40 degrees below zero for wind chills, maybe 45 degrees below zero for wind chills. So I think it was 30 to 40 degrees below zero. And then in the mountains, we're probably talking about 50 degrees below zero. That's when you combine the air temperature and the wind speed. That's how it feels in your skin. So it's not recommended to go outside in these sort of conditions with skin exposed. If you dress for it, have fun. Go outside. Should be good. I'm going to try to get out Friday afternoon for a little bit. I always try to experience what's going on. But, pets, be mindful of that. Pets, you think they have fur, then they're in good shape. They can still have some trouble. They can get some frostbite and paws, and they can get hypothermic. So be mindful of that. I always have to think of that. I have a big fluffy dog that sheds everywhere. And, he's probably not going to be in great shape to stay out for a long time. You can take him out and go to the bathroom and things like that. But probably not a good idea to take the dogs out or leave the dogs outside for an extended period here. This goes into Saturday morning now. We've been talking about wind chills at the coastline, again, about 25 to 35 degrees below zero for the most part. There might be some wind chills around 40 below. You see Rockland right there. But I think most inland communities probably get wind chills of about 40 below, maybe up to 45 below. And there'll be spots in the mountains that get wind chills colder than 50 degrees below zero. All-time record in Portland is in 1971. It was January 1971. It was 41 degrees below zero. I'll put a list together on that. And I don't think we'll really reach that value. It'll be close, but if I had to pick a number, actually, look at that. This graphic picks my number. I picked Larry Bird, minus 33. That's what we're going with. Coldest wind chill, minus 33 in Portland. I think Lewiston gets to about, might get a little bit colder than negative 40. Let's go negative 41 or negative 42. The mountains get a little bit colder, though. And again, that's wind chills when you combine air temperatures and the wind speed here. So it's a 2-day thing here. There's your your weather-worn icons. That's our way of saying heads up. It's going to get nasty for a couple days. 5 during the midday hours Friday, 9 during the midday hours or early afternoon Saturday. Inland areas are probably closer to 0 midday on Friday and 5 on Saturday here. And then some melting on Sunday. We're going to go from extreme 10 to 20 below for air temperatures to mid 30s, mid to upper 30s on Sunday. So if you're just joining us on Facebook Live, first of all, thanks for joining us. And maybe I can take a look at some of your questions here. Lisa says, yikes, it's very cold. Pamela says, yikes too. Yikes, that's a good word for to describe what's happening. It's 11 here in Winthrop. Yeah, it's cold out there tonight, probably around 0 again tomorrow morning. I woke up at 7 at my house this morning. I thought that was cold enough. Went out to but we didn't have the wind. That's the key. What makes this one different than the January cold outbreak of 2018, 5 years ago, is the wind. I mean, I remember that one really well because it happened on New Year's Eve. And I was at my neighbor's house, and we had celebrated New Year's Eve, and I had walked home that night. I walked home with a neighbor, my buddy Chris, and we were walking down the street, and I'd only experienced this once before in one other location. I used to be a weather observer on the summit of Mount Washington, and your eyelids, they start fusing shut when it gets that cold. When it gets to be about 20 degrees below 0, you start blinking and your eyelids will start fusing. And that's happened multiple times when I was working at the observatory, but it happened that night, New Year's Eve, going into January 1st, 2018. And I got home and it was about 20 below, and I woke up in the morning and it was 29.7 degrees below 0 for an air temperature in my backyard. I love it. But we didn't have the wind. That's the key. This time we're going to have the wind here. So I got enough on a tangent there about eyelids fusing shut. Not recommended. Troy says, I have errands I have to do on Friday before next week. So I'll be double layer. Good idea. Double layer. You know what? I plan on going out on Friday too, as well, Troy. I mean, Saturday, I'll probably do a little cooking or something and whatever. But I'm going to try to go out, do a little cross country skiing and trails near my house. But it's going to be cold and you got to have a face mask and all that. It's, nothing we can't handle, but just be mindful. This is going to be extreme. So weird, Alice says, yeah, this is moving quickly. It's moving fast. It's not like February 2015. My dogs don't even want to go out. My dogs don't even want to go out and pee when it's like that. She says, yeah, the dogs aren't going to like it. Picture walking out naked in this kind of weather. And that's what the dogs feel like. Oh, man. Yeah, I hope we get some good Arctic sea smoke. Sometimes when the wind picks up like that, the Arctic sea smoke is not great, though. So Ernie says, darn. Dress in 3 layers. I like it, Carlos. I have a rule. When you think you're cold enough, when you think you're warm enough, when you're going out to an event or something, I learned this when I used to go to football games every now and then. And you feel like you dress warm enough, and you say, put one more layer on. You think you're warm enough? Okay, good. Put one more layer on after that. Just dress warmer. Hello, D from Westbrook. All right. Love the light display in Westbrook this year. Too cold to ski. Yeah, I saw Mount Abram already close. They closed for Saturday. I think Friday's more extreme, though. I do. I think Saturday afternoon is better than Friday afternoon. So if you're going to ski this weekend, Sunday, no question, is better. Sunday, no problems at all. It's Saturday. Saturday through about midday, it will probably be still extreme. But Saturday afternoon, you might be able to get out. I plan on getting out Saturday afternoon. I'm not going skiing, downhill skiing. I'm going to go cross-country skiing. But I think the wind drops off by afternoon Saturday. And it's probably going to be in the single digits, but it's just not going to be as extreme. Now, Friday afternoon, however, don't want to be outside on any mountaintop or anything like that Friday afternoon. Not a good idea at all. Probably not a good idea Saturday either. But the reason I bring that up, Saturday afternoon will be better than the morning. Liz says hello from Old Orchard Beach. Hello, Liz. Barbie says hello. Hello, Barbie. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Hello, Charlie from Bangor. Crystal Chapman says hello. Hello to you. Joanne says, hi, Charlie from Sanford. Hello, Joanne. All right. Lots of warm. You know what, Paula? That's a good idea. We freeze. we grow about 100 tomato plants in the summertime. And so you imagine we get a lot of tomatoes. And I bet we freeze about 75% of our tomatoes. So we have a chest freezer filled with tomatoes. I just cut the tops off, squeeze the seeds out, a little maneuver my dad taught me years ago. And then we just throw them in freezer bags. And then you boil them down. A good day for that will be Saturday or Friday. So the reason I bring that up, good tomato sauce day. I still have a couple batches of tomato sauce to make. Nobody wants to turn the oven on in the summertime, right? That's always my gripe about making tomato sauce in the summer. I mean, you have all these tomatoes and you have to boil them down and, you know, process them and everything. Just cut the tops off and freeze them. Deal with them in the winter when it's cold, right? Lynn says, built Maine tough. Yes, I can't imagine being outside. Imagine being homeless. I mean, you got to get these folks indoors in this sort of situation. For folks that are outside in the elements, maybe if you work outdoors, try to take the day off. It's Friday afternoon, especially. Saturday afternoon gets a little bit better, but I mean, this is going to be tough for folks outdoors. Yeah, my thoughts go out to you. Make sure to take off the lays in the restaurants and in case you sweat, so you don't have to go back in. All right, it's a good idea. All right. I like the way you think, Troy. And Paula says lots of warm comfort food for baking. You know, it'd be nice, baking bread. Baking bread would be nice. Make the house smell good. That'd be good. These temps are scary, Erica says. They are. Yeah, they are. We'll get through it, though. It'll be fine. Sleeping bags in cars. Yeah, it's, you know, Paula, it's a great point. The Weather Service put out an interesting memo yesterday, and they said, you know, this is one of those situations where, you know, if you break down, this could be life-threatening because, you know, if you're outside and it's kind of cold for any extended period of time, it could lead to trouble pretty quickly. So sleeping bags in cars, great idea. They also suggested that if you drive a diesel vehicle, diesel will start to gel when the temperatures get this cold. So be mindful of that. And also electric cars, they will not hold a charge as long as they normally would in cold like this. So electric cars, diesel, be mindful of that. Batteries, AAAs, I bet they'll get a few calls by Saturday morning. My battery's dead. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Let's see. Darl says it'll be rough for cars. Doors freezes up. Yeah, we're not going to get freezing rain, so that's good. No skiing for me, Johnny says, until Sunday. Yeah, you know, we should go skiing on Sunday. It's a good idea. Sunday looks good. Crunchy nostrils, another culprit of the cold. Fusing eyelids and crusty nostrils. I think you're right about that. Troy says, thanks for the update. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Walked on Pine Point was beautiful today, Paula says. All right. Pine Point must have been beautiful. I agree. It always is beautiful there. So do you know, everybody's talking about your nostrils. You're right. You ever do that trick where it gets really cold, you squeeze your nose, and then sometimes it takes a little while for it to come back? Oh, all right. We've gone too far if we're talking about how your nostril hairs will freeze and your eyelids will freeze when it's this cold. All right, if you're just joining us on Facebook Live, real quick sum it up here. Temperatures Saturday and Friday, 0 to 10 during the day. Lows 10 to 20. Wind chills 25 to 40 below. Wait a minute. Air temperatures for lows will be 10 to 20 below. And wind chills 25 to 40 below. Areas in the mountains will be colder than 50 degrees below zero. I just want to show you the wind chill graphic one last time. There's your wind chill watch. That will be upgraded to a warning tomorrow. Maybe an advisory in some areas. It's a warning, though, I think, for most areas. This is the wind chill forecast by 8 p.m. on Friday, combining air temperatures and wind speed. I think we're probably 25 to 35 below at the coast, closer to 40 below inland. Some areas in the mountains, colder than 50 below. And that takes us into Saturday morning there as well. Now, we will see improvements Saturday afternoon. Quick look at air temperatures, though. Again, this is Thursday. No problems there. Oh, sorry, Tammy. I have your comment up. Let's take that off. I should look at these more often. We have the front right here. Things really start to get cranking late tomorrow night. Here we are. It's in the 20s, 2 a.m. Friday. And just like that, look at this. Boom. We're going to see temperatures dip to about zero. So I think Friday is probably more extreme than Saturday in the sense that the temperature is going to get colder quicker. The wind is probably going to be just as strong late Friday as it will be Friday night to Saturday. So Friday afternoon is, my guess, going to be more extreme than Saturday afternoon, which might be a little bit of a change. I mean, I think it's going to get a little bit colder quicker. How's that? And then Saturday morning, we're about 10 to 20 below. And let me see if I can stop this. And I'll show you how we'll get in the single numbers. Let me fix this. There we go. We should get in the single digits by 1 o'clock. And I think that temp inland might be a little bit too cold as well. All right, that is enough tonight. I hope everybody's having a nice night, preparing for the cold. Again, it'll probably get some melting, a little bit of rain next week. I mean, this is ridiculous. It gets that cold and then it rains. But it's the way this winter's going. Hey, first warmest January on record. We're 2/3 of the way through winter, meteorological winter, and we are the 3rd warmest on record for winter. And we just had the 6th wettest January on record, going back to 1872. So there's some stats for you. Maybe we'll have some wind chill stats for you tomorrow. All right, have a nice night, everyone. Take care.